Sri Saram.
Sai Ram.
Om. Om. Om Ganana Antva Ganapati Gum Havamahe Kavin Kavinamupamashravastamam Jyeshthirajam Brahmadam Brahmanaspata Anashranvannotibhissedasadanam प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामवित्र्यवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः श्री साई ईश्वराय नमः हरिः ओम ओम आपोहयद्बृहतीर्गर्भमायन् दक्षन्दधाना जयन् जय जनयन्ते स्वयंभुम् तत इमेध्यसृज्यन्त सर्गा आह अद्भ्यो वाम इदगुं समभूत तस्मादिदगुं सर्वं ब्रह्म स्वयं भीतिम् तस्मादिदगुं सर्वगुं शिथिलमिवा ध्रुवमिवाभवत् प्रजापतिर्वावतत् आत्मनात्मानौ विधाय तदेवानुप्रविशत् तदेशाभ्यनूक्ता ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः offering our collective love at the divine lotus feet of Bhagavan Shri 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 Satya Sai Baba Varu. May we all be together. May we all be nourished together. May we all work together with great vigor. May our studies illumine our intellects. May we not conflict or contradict with each other. Let there be peace, peace, and peace. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Hari Om. Shalom, Sai Ram. Namaste. We're studying the 23rd Anvaka, and yesterday we completed the 97th mantra, which is a beautiful Brahmana about the teaching of the projection and the creation, and how the different aspects of the divinity by placing the waters or love in each direction has led to so many beings that are in the upward direction and those that are unintended. The question that was asked before was, how come animals are not mentioned in this creation? What is being done is basically a yajna, that is a ritual where the lower beings are not intended to be present. The lower beings are born, including the humans are lower beings, if they just live a life of khana, pina, sona, marna. That is just like living like an animal. The one that is created in love always will be propelled by the intellect, and that is love. This beautiful manifestation, although it seems to indicate two different types of materials and a process, the mantra very beautifully declares, Tasmadidagum Sarvam Brahma Swayam Vriti. All of this verily is nothing but, the universe is nothing but the self-born Brahman himself. And then we talked about the analogy of the spider, the silk, and the web. And then when that came into existence, that tasmadidagum sarvam sithilam eva adhruvam abhavat. Noticing that the physical world that was created initially was loose, unstructured, unconnected, and unstable, adhruvam. This Prajapati or the Hiranyagarbha decided to make it firm. So that how he did that. What he did was, Prajapati then Atmana Atmanam Vidhaya. Atmana Atmanam Vidhaya. Since he did not use any external substance, he did not take some Fevicol or something and start putting that into structure. Everything has to be the self, himself, the efficient cause and the material cause. These are specific Vedanta words that are used in Vedanta parlance, but I don't use those Sanskritam words, because the moment you use Sanskritam words, you get caught up in some sphere thinking that you know better than others. That's when you talk in Sanskritam. If you can actually relate to all this, to the common man who doesn't understand any of that Sanskritam, then you are an enlightened person, you are a Buddha. Only Buddhi has Panditya. Buddha has love. In totality of compassion and love, the enlightened one does not talk language that other people do not understand. Even in tutoring, etc., I tell these tutors, do not use these complex words. Here you miss the visarga, you miss the sandhi, you miss this, you miss that. People get baffled. Don't use such language which other people cannot understand. In love, you speak in awareness of others, not to tell what you know, but to connect together. That is Sahanavavatu. If you understand that prayer, then you will not behave holier than thou. That's why The most profound teachings of Bhagavan Buddha were in Pali, Prakrit, not even in Sanskritam. Common people, what they spoke in Bihar and all those things, he communicated incredible spirituality in such common language so that he can uplift the awareness of the people. If you don't uplift the awareness of the people, there is more unconsciousness, and then you live in that unconsciousness, and slowly you also become unconscious. Unconscious here doesn't mean getting anesthesia or something. Unconsciousness means ego taking over. And then you are blinded, you become a dhumralochana. You cannot see clearly what is around you. So therefore, this Prajapati decided, array, all this is loose and unstructured. I have to bring structure into it. And yesterday, very beautifully, we described about the organization of Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. How, which is all loose and unstructured, how Bhagavan has brought literally millions of devotees under a structure, ensuring that everything that is done is with a structure, with a discipline, and with dedication. Unless that is not there, it will be loose, unstable, unstructured. Then the Prajapati, who doesn't use these external materials, he himself decided to penetrate into this thing called the structure. So after creating these various forms, he enters into every atom of the creation. That explains how consciousness exists in the matter. That explains how he became Mamaivamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha. That explains how Bhagavan Krishna declared in Bhagavad Gita that my reflection, or I am present in every being as a reflection, as an amsha. And then what happened? The world that was previously loose, shithilam, unstable, adhruvam, becomes structured because the divine presence now occupies it from within. Esha abhyanukta tat, esha abhi anukta. Now that mantra serves as the bridge to go into number 98. How did he do that? What was the cosmogonic process of Prajapati bringing structure and stability? How did he do that? That's the beautiful mantra next, 98. Vidhaya lokan, vidhaya bhutani.
Vidhaya lokan, vidhaya bhutani. Vidhaya lokan, vidhaya bhutani.
Welcome back there. Hey, did you watch the thing yesterday, class?
So I'm not uncle, I came back late.
Okay.
Very late, yeah. So,
Are you ready to chant or?
yeah, I can chant, yeah. But it's not
No, not can
continuous
chant.
with it's not continuous with previous class because I didn't review yet.
Okay. If you're not well, you can ask Chandrasekhar to chant if you are not up to it. Okay. Since you, yeah. Vidhaya lokan, vidhaya bhutani.
Vidhaya lokan, vidhaya bhutani. Vidhaya lokan, vidhaya bhutani.
Vidhaya sarvah pradisho dishascha.
Vidhaya sarvav pradisho dishascha. Vidhaya sarvav pradisho dishascha.
Prajapatif prathamaja ratasya.
Prajapatif prathamaja ऋतस्य प्रजापतिः प्रथमजा ऋतस्य
आत्मनात्मानमभिसंविवेशेति
okay. आत्मनात्मानभिसंविवेशेति आत्मनात्मानभिसंविवेशेति
आत्मनात्मानमभिसंविवेशेति आत्मनात्मानमभिसंविवेशेति
आत्मनात्मानमभिसंविवेशेति.
Let me check it is a sham or is some concern. Okay. Asking me. Okay, abhivishanviveशेति. Okay, just abhi samvivesheti. Is that correct? Yeah. Abhisamvivesheti. Atmanatmanam abhisamvivesheti.
आत्मनात्मानमभिसंविवेशेति.
विधाय लोकान् विधाय भूतानि
विधाय लोकान् विधाय भूतानि विधाय लोकान् विधाय भूतानि
विधाय सर्वाः प्रदिशो दिशश्च
विधाय सर्वाः प्रदिशो दिशश्च विधाय सर्वाः प्रदिशो दिशश्च
प्रजापतिः प्रथमजां रतस्य
प्रजापतिः प्रथमजा रतस्य प्रजापतिः प्रथमजा रतस्य
आत्मनात्मानम् अभिसंविवेशेति
आत्मनात्मानमभिसंविवेशे
Ma had to be Anudatta. One more time.
आत्मनात्मानमभिसंविवेशेति.
Good, one more time.
आत्मनात्मानमभिसंविवेशेति.
विधाय लोकान् विधाय भूतानि विधाय सर्वाः प्रदिशो दिशश्च प्रजापतिः प्रथमजा रतस्य आत्मनात्मानमभिसंविवेशेति
विधाय लोकान् विधाय भूतानि विधाय सर्वाः प्रदिशो दिशश्च प्रजापतिः प्रथमजा रतस्य आत्मनात्मानमभिसंविवेशेति
So this mantra is basically saying, having fashioned the worlds and having fashioned all the created beings, the loka and the bhuta. In fact, the sarva, vidhaya sarvaha pradishaha dishascha, all the directions and the intermediate directions, pradisha, disha. Then after doing all of that stuff, this Prajapati becomes the firstborn of the eternal cosmic order himself. Prajapati Prathama Jah. Jah means the born. Prathama means the firstborn of what? Ritasya, the cosmic order. What that means? Atman Prajapati. Then what it is? Atmana Atmanam Abhisam Vivesha Iti. After becoming that, the firstborn of the eternal cosmic order, Rata. Cosmic order is called Rata. The truth that pervades beneath that is Satya. Rata is order. Rutu is season. Rishi is the one who is Ritvik, the one who is bound by it. Now you understand what it is to be a Ritvik. Not simply signing up as Ritvik because you also get an opportunity to put something into the fire. You have to follow the discipline and the order, then only you are a Ritvik. And you have to abide by that cosmic order. Atman Atmanam Abhisam Vivesheti, entered, pervaded himself by his own self, thus it is declared. Iti is the full stop. Always remember, iti is the full stop. So, this entire architecture of space, which is the directions, Prajapati didn't just create things. He created them in the framework of first establishing directions. That's what the mantra is saying, right? Indra, Agni, Vayu, first Aditya in the east. You have to now remember what are the directions. What did he create? First Aditya, south Agni, west Vayu, north Indra. That is how he has created. Remember that? Appude marchipoyaranta already అయిపోయింది. Finished, no? That mantra is over. Now we leave it behind. After creating those, the architecture of the space, essentially, he created the architecture of space, essentially. You have to remember what this mantra is talking about. Tadeshabhyanukta. He's saying this is how it happened. This is how what happened. This is how the directions happened. This is how. Now, after the creation, they are explaining how it is happened. That is what the mantra is doing. After the creation has happened, now Tadeshabhyanukta, the Rishi is now explaining how it happened, what is the intent of that, and what are all the principles behind it. Shouldn't the reason be explained first and then the aspect? No, that's not how the way the mantras work. They actually are, the Rishi is actually describing very beautifully how first describing what has happened and then describing how it has happened. Then the firstborn of Rata, Prajapati, is called Prathamajah Ratasya. It's not a Rutu, it is a Ritu. This before the creator has acted, before the Prajapati has entered, there is this Rita. Rita comes, the law and order comes before the creator comes. That's what Prajapati has come. So therefore, what it means is this Rita, the cosmic order, is impersonal. He has to be himself bound by it. See, I can only relate to this mantra with the life and messages of Bhagavan Sri Sathya Baba, because that is what the real example in front of me. That's why this mind never wavers from him, because it doesn't have to look anywhere else. It doesn't have to look what some other Swamiji talked about this, what some other book said about it. There's no need for verification at all. Completely. So how do you know that the God cannot escape even this Rita? Some prime minister, president, or I don't know who it is, came to Bhagavan for his 60th birthday and gave him 60 gold coins. The first question Bhagavan asked him was, did you pay customs duty for this? Huh? Did you pay duty to the customs for this? And the prime minister was shocked. He asked that question. And Swami said, I cannot accept it because it is unlawful. Do you think the God who is the master of the universe has to go in the wheelchair? He went through that because he wanted to show that even God cannot escape the dharma of the body. The deha dharma is what he has to follow. And therefore he won't cross his limits with respect to that. The firstborn, he is not above the law because the law is himself. He is its primary instrument. He is the role model example of that law. And he will not escape that himself, only to show to the world that even God is not beyond the law. You understand this? Because if he himself, if the fence eats the crop, who will protect it? This is a saying in Telugu. Kanche chenu meste. If the fence eats the crop, who will protect the crop? So this law and order established by him, he is the dharma himself. And when he is the dharma himself, if he doesn't follow the dharma, then he sets a bad example. Lead by example is the primary dictum of Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Lead by example. If you are a bhajan leader, so-called, lead by example. What are all the principles behind that? What did Swami say about bhajan singing? Am I actually following those things? I should be present 10 minutes before the bhajan start. Before Bhagavan comes, I should be sitting there. I should not distract myself from anything else happening because the only presence is him. I should follow other people's bhajan as I would expect them to follow my bhajan. I should not just sing my bhajan and leave the place. I should not only just sing a bhajan, I should practice it and offer what I feel is my best to Bhagavan. So if you understand all these things, this is not what I am saying. Hello, Sairam. If you go back and look at Swami's discourses, every one of these principles he has taught. And then he also said, sing simple bhajans so that everyone will feel connected to the love of God. Don't sit there and display your incredible technical talent. Again, that is another level of spiritual arrogance. That's another level of technical arrogance. You have to sing something that people can just open their heart. Krishna, Rama, Govinda, Gokula, Nandana, Gopala. All the simple names of God that will uplift everyone to get into this awareness. Therefore, this mantra says that firstborn Prathamaja, the Prajapati, he is the Rata himself, and he is not above the law. He is the primary instrument of that law and order. Then the mantra concludes by reinforcing that the creator is the indweller. He is not sitting outside of his creation and watching it. God is watching us is a lousy concept. our thought process is always God is standing up there and he's watching below on me, and therefore I am looking up here. Oh God, are you watching me? The guy is actually inside. He's the indweller. He's not sitting outside and creating and then watching all his creation. Abhisam vivesha means that abhi, here and now, sam with totality. Vivesha means he has entered. In totality, he has now entered. So there is no spot in the universe, however small, however big, Anu Raniyan, Mahato Mahiyan, from the smallest of an atom to the most magnanimous in the creation, there is no space that is devoid of that primordial consciousness, period. Iti. Abhisam Vivesha. Iti. That concludes the 97 mantra. And this last mantra is the mantra of Anuvakam 23. Will conclude with the 98th mantra. Sarvame Sarvam eva idam aptva. Sarvame vedam aptva. Sarvame vedam aptva. Sarvamevadam aptva. Vedam aptva. Sorry, sir. Sarvame vedam aptva.
Sarvame vedamaptva. Sarvame vedamaptva.
Sarvamavarudhya.
Sarvamavarudhya. Sarvamavarudhya. Sarvamavarudhya.
Oh, this is the last mantra. Tadevanu pravishati.
Tadevanu pravishati.
Ya evam veda.
Ya evam veda.
So those 4 lines concludes the 98th mantra, which is the last mantra in Anuvakam 23. Sarvame vedam aptvam.
Sarvame vedamaptva. Sarvame vedamaptva.
Sarvamavarudhyam.
Sarvamavarudhya. Sarvamavarudhya.
Tadevanu pravishati.
Tadevanu pravishati. Tadevanu pravishati.
Ya evam vedam.
Ya evam veda. Ya evam veda.
सर्वमेवेदमाप्त्वा सर्वमवरुध्य तदेवानुप्रविशति य एवं वेद.
सर्वमेवेदमाप्त्वा सर्वमवरुध्य तदेवानुप्रविशति य एवं वेद.
So this mantra is concluding here. It's called the Phalashruti. Ya evam veda is actually contemplate on this. Contemplate on what? That indeed sarvam evamidam aptva. He apnoti. This is beautiful word. This is one of the root meanings of the word atma. Apnoti iti atma. Apnoti iti atma. Adatte iti atma. So now what I'm trying to, when the word comes, that word cannot be explained. Aptva is the apnoti, aptva. These words really means that he became all of that. Sarvam evam idam, sarvam eva idam aptva. This entire manifest universe is him only. At the moment you connect to this concept, then you start looking at the whole universe as the creator. The creator and the creation are not two different entities. The creation is the creator is the creation. Sarvam avarudhya. He secured everything, having encompassed, he secured everything. Tat eva anupravishat. Then he enters into the very absolute reality. Evam Veda. This is what needs to be remembered thus. This is what is to be known always. So therefore, these final lines in this Anuvaka, which is a very beautiful description of creation of all the directions and the beings, etc., concludes saying that the seeker who always possesses this inner knowledge, he will mirror the cosmic journey of the Prajapati. By how that in the multiplicity there is unity. Aptva means attaining, avarudhya means encompassing. Two principles, aptva, avarudhya. Attaining and encompassing. Therefore, this signifies a state where our consciousness expands so far that nothing remains outside. That's why it's called my life is my message, expansion is my life. I have expanded and pervaded into everything. If you love the God, then you must love all. If you serve the God, then you must serve all. So there is nothing outside. There's the beautiful story of Kanakadasa. His guru, after his session, devotional session was over, people go and take the prasadam from the guru. And before giving the prasadam, the fruit, the guru said, please eat this prasadam where nobody is seeing you. and come back. And so everybody got the fruit. The next day they came for the satsang again. And the Guru said, I hope you all have eaten the prasadam where nobody was seeing you. Is there anybody here who did not eat the prasadam? And Kanakadasa was the only one that rose up and said, sorry, Guruji, I didn't eat this prasadam. Arey, what happened, Ra? There are no doors for your home or what? No, you told I should eat at a place where there is nobody that is watching me. This fellow God is there watching me all the time from inside. So how can I eat this prasadam? Manam, what we do? We are waiting when the puja is over so we can go attack. Brahmarpanam aipongane. The moment Brahmarpanam is go attack without any moment of wasted. So therefore, to attain all this means to realize that the entire universe is not separate from oneself. So apnoti means there is nothing outside. Avarudhya means that it is not separate. Avarudhya. Once we embrace this totality of existence, the ego, which always relies on separation, the ego, which always is focused on separation, it dissolves. Because every single attempt of our existence in this world is in the context of that separation. I have to be greater than others. I have to achieve more than others. I should be richer than others. I should be prosperous than others. I should get better bonus than others. I should be, all this stuff is I and others. I and others. And that I begins to dissolve because there is nothing outside of it and there is nothing to attain. Oh, this is a loaded question. Now, obviously, people will ask, what do you mean, sir? If I cannot attain everything, how can I progress in my life? Do you mean to say in spirituality, how I should not even seek to attain? We'll take up that question later. That's a very common question asked, because that's the question that comes from the ego. That question itself arises from the ego. If you look at it carefully, we don't look at it. And therefore, this beautiful seeker now embraces the totality of the existence, and at that moment, anupravishati, the mind dissolves and it completely expands. Just as the creator enters the creation to sustain it, the seeker or the knower also enters the essence of the divine to become one with it. This is the knowledge, awareness one should have. The one who knows this, evam veda. It's not a knowing as an intellectual exercise. It's not knowing as intellectual exercise. It is knowing as transformation of your fundamental being. By understanding the secret of how the divine pervades the universe, and in order to establish this cosmic order, the cosmic order called Rata, and therefore he stabilized this whole loose and unstable universe with this thing called dharma, which is, in other words, love in action. By understanding that secret, you cease to live the life of a limited, finite reflection, and you become the infinite, supreme, Swayam Prakasha, self-luminous intelligence called Buddha. So that is the unity bridging to the so-called called mukti, the liberation. See what is the essence of practically, what is the essence of this is that you do not find the divine by leaving the world behind. Hello, Sairam, listen to this carefully. You do not go to find the divine by leaving the prapancha, by leaving the world behind, but to realize that the world is the divine himself because he has entered in it. And now if you understood this, love all, serve all becomes very practical spiritual example, not just two simple lines that are only written but never understood or practiced. That is what is the thought for the day today. Knowing does not mean that intellectually knowing about it. The thought for the day today says very beautifully, Sai inspires what he's saying. You have been reading about renunciation for a long time. You have been listening to many discourses, but how much have you been able to practice? If you question yourself, you will find that you have not moved even a single step forward. You are where you were, in spite of listening to and reading Vedantic texts, in spite of japa and meditation, in spite of knowledge of the sacred texts, your position is the same as it was. How can you make progress? You will reach noble heights only when you put your knowledge into practice. But students today are zero in practice and hero in bookish knowledge. You may hear and learn so many things, but your position is the same as it has been. Instead of learning 100 things, it is very important to practice at least one. So you should start practicing. You get the experience only through practice. Your hunger is not satiated merely by hearing the names and delicious items. You have to make an effort to eat. A beggar will never improve his condition simply by listening about the greatness of the economy. Pitch darkness can never be dispelled by listening to the power of light. Similarly, you can never become a Vedantin by learning about Vedanta. Ya evam Veda, Veda, Vedanta. That is the beautiful closure of Anuvakam number 23. Then we go to this next Anuvakam, which starts with a ritual of collecting various different types of water. And that is the next Anuvakam. Let's go into it very 48. Okay, good. Chatushthaya apo granhati.
Chatushthaya apo grinhanti.
Granhati.
Grinhati.
Sarama, is it yours or mine?
The volume?
Is he? No. You are breaking up. Is he breaking up or is my Bluetooth? I don't know. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Chandrasekhar?
Yeah.
Yes, Sana. Yes.
Oh, the mother-in-law answers immediately. When there's no problem with him, problem is you. Okay. Chatushtaya apo granhati.
Chatushtaya apo grinhati.
Chatvariva apagum rupani.
Chatvariva apagum rupani. Chatvariva apagum rupa apagum rupani.
Megho vidyut.
Megho vidyut. Megho vidyut.
Stanayit nirvrishtihi.
Stanayitnurvrishtihi. Stanayitnurvrishtihi.
Tanyeva varundhe.
Tanyeva varundhe. Tanyeva varundhe.
So now this, back to ritual. See how beautifully the mantras are woven. It's either the ritual or the spirit, and weaving the spirit and the ritual. How beautiful, how the whole ritual description about how the directions are created, and then putting all these abhishtakas in various directions, everything. And then coming back and saying, what does this all mean? How can I relate to it? You do it, you see it, and you be it. Then what happens is, once you do it and then you see it, then you can be it, because it will connect. But here, where with the current situation, with the modern mind, is that it doesn't want to do it. Directly want to jump and be it. There is no practice. That's exactly what Bhagavan's thought for the day is. You miss the totality of what is called practice, and you want to jump and learn these mantras and chant, but never want to get enchanted. Chatushtaya apo granhati, chatushtaya apaha, chatushtaya apaha granhati. Then he collects the waters in a fourfold manner. 4 types of waters are collected. Chatvari vai apam rupani. For there are indeed only 4 forms of water. 4 forms of water. 4 forms of water. What? I mean, then you're like saying, hey, these guys are, cuckoo, man. I only know one type of water that is sold in a $5 bottle called Fiji water. Now they are saying there is 4 types of water. And then what are the 4 types of water? Meghaha, Vidyut, the cloud and the lightning. Tanayitnuhu, Vrishtihi, the thunder and the rain. Tani eva avarundhe. These are the 4 types he encompasses and he secures. Tan, Tani, eva, avarundhe. Avarundhe is encompassing and securing. Yes, what we are saying, what? Okay, let's learn the mantra, because if I get into that, I'll forget teaching the mantra. Chatur Om Chaturshtaya Apo Granhati.
Chaturshtaya apo granhati. Chaturshtaya apo granhati.
Chatvari apagum rupani.
Chatvari
Scale.
Okay.
Chatvari
Chatvari apagum rupani. My skills, sorry.
Did you say apagam? I made a mistake. Did I make a mistake?
No, apagum. That's my mistake.
Did I? I didn't make a mistake.
I
If
don't
I
think
made a
so.
mistake, tell me, be honest.
I
Because nobody is above mistakes.
Yes, Anna.
I am part of Buddha. I cannot. Yes, did I make a mistake?
Yes, Anna.
Yes, Anna.
Huh?
Yes.
Yes,
Ah.
you said apa.
Chattvariva apagum rupani.
Chatvari apagum rupani. Chatvari apagum rupani
Megho vidyut.
megho vidyut megho vidyut
Stanayet narvrishtihi.
stanayet vrishtihi.
Is it me or your mother-in-law said it will be me only, but I just want to make sure. Is it me or
My
you are a little
scale's
bit
a bit
off
off.
scale?
My scale's
Huh?
my scale's off. My
Okay,
scale.
thank you. Okay, please chant again. Stanayitner should be.
Om
Stanayitner vrishtigim.
stanayet vrishtihi.
Little flat.
Om stanayet vrishtihi.
Tanyeva varundhe.
Tanyeva varundhe. Tanyeva varundhe.
Chaturshtaya apo gृह्णाति. Chattvariva apagum rupani. Megho vidyut stanayitnar vrishtihi. Tanyeva varundhe.
चतुष्टय्य आपो गृह्णाति चत्वारि वा अपागुं रूपाणि मेघो विद्युत् स्तनयित्नुर्वृष्टिः तान्येवावरुन्धे.
Yes. So now back to the ritual. The Yajamana or the practitioner who is doing the ritual is now supposed to collect water from 4 different sources or in 4 different specific ways, that the ritual is now complete. And these are the 4 forms of the water, as it is said, as cloud, lightning, thunder, rain. All of these are the 4 forms of this water. And by invoking all these 4, that there is no aspect of the life force that is left out. That is the meaning of attaining, encompassing. Now, what's the question that comes to you all? Huh? What is the question that comes to you all? No question. Huh?
I mean, in reality, how can they collect Megh, Vidyut? I mean, that's coming to my mind.
I was thinking why ice is not a form of water, is mentioned
You are
here.
thinking what they left out. I am asking what they're talking about. Don't think about what is left out. I am asking what is the question about what? What are the 4 types of water? You are thinking, what did they miss, by the way?
I was just thinking that 4 type of water, why the ice, the form of ice
Where is
is
the
also
ice?
water.
Where is the ice? Oh my God. Where is the ice? Okay. Somebody who is living in Phoenix has to think about ice only all the time. How can they think of anything else? Yeah? Is the AC working or not? When is the rain going to come? My God, all that stuff they have to worry about. That is the life of a Phoenix mind. What can we do? And the fellow who is sitting in Edmonton, Canada, or north of that is thinking, where is going to be the hot water going to come? How come they did not mention steam? Yeah. Okay. What's the question that comes? Not where is ice, where is the steam? What is the question that comes? How can we collect the water? The cloud, I understand. Rain, I understand. What is the water about lightning and thunder? How can I collect the water from that? Chatushtaya apaha grandhati. Obviously, they're not talking about water. What is the meaning of apaha? Huh?
It's love.
Now, is there what is called cold love, ice love, steam love? How many types of love are there? Love is manifested in 4 different ways. The cloud is the thought. The lightning is the flash of illumination. The thunder is the sound of the walk, the speech. That is the thunder. And the rain is the pour of grace. Bah. Now you understand how love is expressed through you and how love encompasses you. Tanyeva varundhe. How it encompasses you. Love is encompassed within you as your thought, as the light within you that is illuminating, the word that is coming, and the rain that is pouring as grace. And therefore, those 4 types of love you have to secure, avarundhe. So therefore, you are not simply performing a ritual with physical water. You are harmonizing your own entire internal system of thought, word, and deed so that the spiritual intentions can manifest as clearly and as powerfully as love within. Now you understand how the order comes into picture. What you think, what you speak, what you do. And then the light within that enables those 4 things. What are these 4 things described in Rudram? Malli blank.
Atma. Manu is the thought.
No, Sarah. One person, Akila is talking. Yes, Akila.
Thought, Atma, first mantra.
Atma, first mantra. See how she is connected. Atma, first mantra. Now, what is ATMA? Please tell them.
The awareness, thought, mind, action.
Fulfilled. So happy. Swami is so happy that this type of knowledge is now getting, that kind of awareness is getting into everyone that is chanting Rudram. Now we are chanting Rudram. Swami's wish is fulfilled, that you should know and chant what you are chanting. So what are we talking about? Apnoti iti atmaha. That is Atma. How this water, this Atma is manifested within you as the light, as in the illumination, the manu. Then the issue, the bow, and the action. Action is the grace. Speech is the walk. Lightning is the illumination. Cloud is the thought, mind and the thought. This is the entire cosmic energy that is within you coming out as love. Now it signifies that for a spiritual harvest to occur, one must first have the gathering of the purity of intent that is coming from the spark of insight and that is expressed as the beautiful word that is heard. Word that is heard. Okay. So therefore, that is the 4 types. that they are talking about. இது தம்பி என்னடா சோமு புரிஞ்சதா? You are connecting
Yes, Anna.
yes, Anna. So therefore, we'll complete the next 4 lines, and that will complete this 99th mantra also. Then and next week we come back and we'll have a century completed. 100 mantras in Aruna Prashna. Today is 99. Atapati Varshya Granhati.
Atapati Varshya Granhati. Atapati Varshya Granhati.
Ta Purastadupadadhati.
Tav Purastadupadadhati. Tav Purastadupadadhati.
Etavai Brahmavarchasya Apaha.
Etavai Brahmavarchasya Apaha.
Mukhata. Go ahead.
Etavai Brahmavarchasya Apaha.
Mukhata eva Brahmavarchasamarundhe.
Mukhata eva Brahmavarchasamarundhe.
Yeah, so we have to help people with the Brahma dash, Varchasa dash, Mavarundhe. That way you can understand the words. Eva Mukhata eva Brahmavarchasa Mavarundhe.
Mukhata eva Brahmavarchasamarundhe.
Tasman Mukhato Brahmavarchasitaraha.
Tasman Mukhato Brahmavarchasitaraha. Tasman Mukhato Brahmavarchasitaraha.
Atapati Varshya Granhati.
Atapati Varshya Granhati. Atapati Varshya Granhati.
Taf Purastadupadadhati.
Tav Purastadupadadhati. Tav Purastadupadadhati.
Etavai Brahmavarchasya Apaham.
Etavai Brahmavarchasya Apaha. Etavai Brahmavarchasya Apaha.
Mukhata eva Brahmavarchasamarundhe.
Mukhata eva Brahmavarchasamarundhe. Mukhata eva Brahmavarchasamarundhe.
Tasman Mukhato Brahmavarchasitaraha.
Tasmān mukhato brahmavarchasitaraha. Om Tasmān mukhato brahmavarchasitaraha.
Atapati Varsha Granhati. Taf Purastadupadadhati. Etavai Brahmavarchasya Apaha. Mukhata eva Brahmavarchasya इं मुखत एव ब्रह्मवर्चसमवरुन्धे तस्मान्मुखतो ब्रह्मवर्चसि तरः.
आतपतिवर्ष्या गृह्णाति ताः पुरस्तादुपदधाति एता वै ब्रह्मवर्चस्या आपः मुखत एव ब्रह्मवर्चसमवरुन्धे तस्मान्मुखतो ब्रह्मवर्चसि तरः.
Okay, very good. So now the collection of the waters begins for the yajna. The first type of water is being described. Atapati Varsha Grindhati. Grindhati means collected. What type of water is collected? The water of the rain waters, Varsha, Atapati, while the sun is shining. Have you noticed this? Sometimes there will be rain while the sun is shining. Those waters are collected. And by collecting those waters, Taf Purastad Upadadhati, those waters are placed in the eastern direction in the ritual. And then these are the waters that bestow divine splendor. Etavai Brahmavarchasyah Apaha. These waters are the waters that bestow divine splendor, Brahmavarchas. Mukhata eva Brahmavarchasamam avarundhe. Then the divine splendor is shining through the face. Then by doing this, the splendor, that this is what they did, and because you do this, you will get this. What do you get? The one who does this will secure the divine splendor in his face. And then, or it can also be said in the very beginning, Mukhata also means very beginning. Tasmat Mukhataha, and here his face, the first one is beginning, here is the face. Two combined cannot be used the same meaning. The first Mukhataha can be in the beginning. Second Mukhataha, Tasmat Mukhataha, Brahmavarchasitaraha. Then he becomes exceedingly endowed with the divine luster in his face. That is the meaning of the mantra Atapati Varsha. Obviously, we are all not doing this ritual anyway. Not we. Not many people can do even understand the complete ritual process nowadays of this Arunaketuka Yajna. Many people don't even exist that exactly know what to do. So now what does this mean? Why are we chanting all these things? Obviously, this Yajna that we are doing is the Antar Yajna, not the Bahya Yajna. So the sun and the rain that comes during while the sun is present. So obviously the rain comes two ways, no? Most of the time the rain is there when there is a dark cover of the clouds, isn't it? Most of the rain that you see is with the dark cover of the clouds. Very rarely that it will rain hard while the sun is shining, isn't it? Hello, you are observing this in the nature, no? If you are observing this in the nature, what does this mean? So here, the rain is the devotion. The sun is the awareness. 99% of the people are very devoted, but without awareness. Very rarely you see people that are highly devoted, but also are shining in awareness. Collect that love that is pouring when the awareness is present. That's very rare. It's very common to observe the people. So there what it means is cloud means they don't have awareness, but they have devotion. Oh, surely there is devotion is there. That's very common bhakti. What is the extraordinary bhakti is love that is pouring in awareness. For that, you will have to look at the example of a Jnanadev, a Ramakrishna, an Arabindo. These are examples of devotion, utmost devotion, totality of bhakti, but in jnana. This is, if you understood this, that is Atapati Varshya Grandhati. The rest of it is very simple. Then what happens when you have that kind of love for God in awareness? Then you are, to begin with, that is begin Purastha. Puraha means first, not only east. In ritual it is placed on east. But to begin with, you will have this divine splendor that will shine forth. The splendor is the sun and the divine is the rain. And therefore what happens? That person that is enlightened but pours the love in devotion. Now you can see two different types of people. The people who have totality of awareness, I am a realized person. I don't need to go to this. I don't need to go to all of this stuff. I am only a realized person. I am happy with what I am. I don't need to indulge in any bhakti. Bhakti is not for Mira. It's only for crazy people who, lose their voice by chanting the name of God. That is all. Those people are not useful for the world. You have to understand, those people are not useful for the world. They are only useful for themselves. They are only useful for themselves. Excuse me. Those that actually take that awareness and make it shower like grace of God by singing the name of the God in ecstasy. And in that ecstasy, they will drench everybody in the love of the people, in the love of the God. That is the real jnana. Ananya bhakti it is called. Ananya bhakti. Bhakti actually means love, totality of love. Bhakti does not mean throwing flowers at God, lighting 100 lamps, breaking coconuts and all of that stuff. This bhakti is a totality of offering, ananya, without a second. So this Bhagavan Ramakrishna represents that kind of love. Ecstatic love, but is highly self-aware. He is not a crazy bhakta. He is a bhakta who is totality of awareness. And therefore Ramakrishna always said, now you see, do you think Bhagavan Sri Satsai Baba has to sing any bhajans? Has to do any service? Has to give any lectures? No. Why did he sing bhajans? Why did he establish service? Why did he give discourses? Because the confluence of bhakti, karma, jnana defines the spiritual being, not just individualizing them. I am only bhakta, I am only jnani, I am only service guy. This is separatedness. Satyam Shivam Sundaram, coming together, truth, bliss, and beauty coming together, that defines the spiritual person. Atapati Varsha Grandhati. This glow of the divinity shining forth, that is what is defined as the Brahmavarchas. And that water, rainwater that is there during the sun shining, that is the luster arising in the mastery of awareness and performance of tapas. Tam agnivarnam tapasajvalantim vairochanim karma phaleshu dushta. Tapas, with this tapas, the shines forth this Brahmavarchas. And we'll pause there and then Yadaksharapada Brashtam, please chant Yadaksharapada Brashtam.
ॐ श्री साईश्वराय नमः हरिः ॐ यदक्षरपदभ्रष्टं मात्राहीनं तु यद्भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देवनारायण नमोऽस्तु ते विसर्गबिन्दुमात्राणि पदपादाक्षराणि च न्यूनानि चातिरिक्तानि क्षमस्व साईश्वर अपराधसहस्राणि क्रियन्ते हर्निशं मया दासोऽयमिति मां मत्वा क्षमस्व साईश्वर अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्यभावेन रक्ष रक्ष साईश्वर हरिः ॐ तत्सत् श्री साईश्वरार्पणमस्तु.
Okay, Sairam. Few very, very important announcements. Number one, this coming Wednesday, those of you who are learning Devi Mahatmyam, or those who have already learned Devi Mahatmyam and got the Diksha but not doing Japa, you have to reinitiate yourselves because your system is rusted if you are not practicing the mantra. And those that are definitely coming to my SS, that are graced, are blessed to come to my SSS. I can only use those words and nothing else. You have to be having the grace of Bhagavan to participate. And that those people will have to definitely reinitiate themselves on Wednesday. And we will have the Diksha sessions at 4 times, just like exact same timings of the Devi Mahatyam classes that are happening on Monday and Tuesday. That is number one. The registration for the My SSS for Ritviks will close on May 22nd, Friday. Next Friday it will close. So once you get this Diksha on 20th, on May 23rd, we will have the Devi Mahatmya Parayanam. It is mandatory for all those that are coming to my SSS to be part of monthly Devi Mahatmya Parayanam and monthly Rudrabhishekams, second Saturday and fourth Saturday. Please do not conduct parallel activities if you are committed to my SSS that would conflict with those events. Constantly, they are always published. Second Saturday, fourth Saturday. My humble request is don't create another Ekadash Rudram in your own area. Oh, we have doing this and I can't. No, integrate that into this or do it some other week if possible. And so in lieu of that, we will not have the Arunam class next Saturday. And we will resume the class on next Sunday, which will be the May 24th. And I believe a lot of people in the East Coast are in retreats during that time. And you can always follow up later on if you are attending the retreat. those that are treating themselves, not retreating, but just treating themselves with these classes can join. That word treat is a very unspiritual word, and we call it even retreat, and we add to the beginning of the spiritual retreat. Okay, these words are very, very funny to me because we have learned from Westerners how to appease the mind and not the spirit. Therefore, if it is a retreat, what they think, I can go and relax there and just chill out, and I don't have to be doing anything else. That is how retreat word is used by corporates. Anyway, don't change any names because of me, and this is different. People won't even connect to what I am talking about. That's okay. Because you don't connect, I won't stop talking. Because some point you will connect. Oh my God, that is what he is saying. That happens with us all the time. All the time. Whenever some insight happens, then it will immediately, oh, that is what Swami was saying. Oh, that is exactly what he was saying. But when you first heard Swami, you never understood. Arey, Swami, what you are saying, all this stuff, I have no idea. But because we did not understand, Swami did not stop giving that knowledge. Thanks Swami, he did not stop. If Swami just decided what I am saying, these fellows cannot understand. If Adi Shankara just decided, oh, these fellows cannot understand what I am writing in this Bhashya, that wealth of knowledge and awareness would not have existed for humanity. So please just register, you don't have to react. So spiritual retreat, people are excused if they are really connecting spiritually, not retreating. Otherwise, you can treat yourself to this class. But we'll have the classes because I want to complete, we're targeting to complete this Aruna Parayanam hopefully by end of June, so that at least July, August, September, 3 months we'll have, July and August, 2 months we'll have to practice Arunam for the offering at the My SSS. Okay. So all of that announcements, anything I missed, Satish? That's it? Yeah, okay. That's it? Okay. All right.
Dallas
Are there
event.
any? Yeah,
Dallas event.
Dallas event, I'll talk next week. Okay. There is some Dallas event he talked about in Prashanti Dham. There is no retreat. It's actually a spiritual event, not a retreat, for 1 day. In the morning, Sai Parthiva Lingaradhana, and whoever is registered to come there and doing sadhana already for that, thank you. And we will begin the sadhana for My SSS starting from June 1st, right after the retreat. Sai. Okay. Any questions? Oh, very good.
Sairam, just one thought. I mean, the other day you posted about this the Agnika mantra Chatwari Shringashrayo. So that Chatwari, I just stuck this in this mantra also. This Chatwari 4.
Chatushtaya Apagrinhati. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I was wondering, like the meaning where you explained there. Just wondering if there is a connection to this 4 waters.
No connection. No connection. No connection.
No.
That mantra is different. It is what it what it actually means is that that mantra that we are using in that Agnikarya, Chatvari Shringatrayo, Chatvari Shringaha, 4 horns. If you can maybe bring up that image that I posted, you can share that, or I don't know if I have it here. There is this beautiful mantra. This mantra has some contextual relevance to the to the avivesha aspect or previvesha, how the divine has entered all the beings. How did the divine enter all the beings? That's in that context. this question from Chandrasekhara has a beautiful relevance. You want to bring it up, da? You have that thing that I posted. Let me see if I.
The study.
Uh,
Is it community?
oh, no, sorry. Yeah, it's in the community,
Okay,
but let
got
me
it.
see.
Got it.
You got it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yes, thank you for bringing that up. Now look at this beautiful. There is a beautiful bill. There is a beautiful great bull that is being described, and this mantra is chanted when we light the fire in the Homakunda during the Agnikarya. When we light the fire, this mantra is chanted. And how is that mantra chanted? My God, I lost my voice somehow. Om Chatvari Shringat Strayo Asya Padadve Sirshe Saptahastaso Asya Tridha Baddho Vrashabho Roraviti Mahodevo Martyagum Avivesha. Simply means, and this beautiful poem was translated into Telugu by Professor Boddupalli Purushottam Garu. In his PhD thesis, he put this picture. He actually conceived the picturesque form of this mantra and put it in Telugu poem. And then he published in his PhD thesis in 1969. That was the first PhD thesis in grammar ever in human history. First thesis in grammar, okay, of all the things. 1,300 published pages. It's like amazing tapas. Anyway, I won't get into that. So this mantra is talking about Chatvari Shringaha. Chatvari Shringaha means 4 horns. Trayo Asya Padat, 3 feet. Dve Sirshe, 2 heads. Saptahastaha, 7 hands. And tied in 3 places. Tridha Baddho, Vrishabho, the great bull, Roraviti, has roared. And with that roar, Mahadeva has entered the beings. Mahodevo, Martya, Avivesha. We were talking about how the divine has entered, right? How did he enter? This mantra is describing how he entered. It's a Rigveda mantra to begin with. So, have you ever seen a bull with 4 horns, 3 feet, 2 heads, 7 hands, bound 3 ways? Obviously, there is no bull like that. Then what is this bull that they're talking about? What is this bull that has roared and with whose roar God has entered into this? Yachandasam Vrishabho Vishwarupaha. That is the other mantra connected to this. This is Vrishabha representing the Mahadeva himself. And there it is the divine vibration Om. And the Om has 4 horns. What are those 4 horns? Chatvari Vak Padani. Chatvari. What are the Chatvari? The 4 sounds. The 4 sounds as unmanifest, perceived, expressed, and heard. Again, I'm not using Sanskritam words. Para Pashyanti Madhyama Vaikari. That is the English, that is the Sanskritam representation. And then what does it mean that it has 3 feet? The 3 feet representing the 3 states of the mind, as it represents the awake, the dream, and the deep sleep. The 7 hands represent the Saptaswaras, the 7 notes of music that have come from that Om. And then it is tied in 3 places, 3 aspects, gross, subtle, and causal, using this Om vibration. the divine has penetrated into all the beings in the creation. That is the beautiful. So that is what we do when we do the Agni Karya. Before we doing the Agni Pratishta, this mantra is chanted. Therefore, we are invoking the presence of the Om in the Homakunda. And that is what is meaning of this mantra, and also how the vibration is the way he has entered. So therefore, that which is resonating within us all the time and in the entire universe around us is the Om, which you can connect to. And when you connect to the Om inside you, you will connect to the Om that is present in all the beings. And of course, my father has used this beautiful also, what Patanjali has described is the essence of walk. Because it's a grammar thesis. Grammar is a Vyakarana. Vyakarana, there is no actual translation in English to that word Vyakarana. That which is expressed as the essence of speech. The four horns in speech are the nouns, the verbs, the prefixes, and the uninflected words. The two heads are two types of sounds, eternal and intended. The seven hands are the seven cases in grammar, what are called vibhakti. And the three ties are the places where the sound is produced, as the heart, the neck, and the face. Mukhataha brahmavarcha samavarunde. Okay. That is the essence of that. So thank you for bringing that up. I don't know why you got it here, but it is related to how the divine has entered into all the beings as the Omkaram. Chatvari Shrunga Trayo Asya Pada Dve Sirshe Saptahastaso Asya Tribadha Baddho Vrishabho Roraviti Mahodevo Marchagum Avivesha. Jai Sai Ram. Thank you. Any other questions?
Sai Ramana, yesterday you said
Yes.
you will.
Yesterday the seed and the seed and the tree. Yeah. Anybody found the answer? What is the commonality between the seed and the tree?
The potential to grow. That's what I thought.
Yeah, Ramachandra potential. I already told the answer long time ago, but none of it gets registered. It's okay when it registers. The tree and the sea, you cannot really decipher which comes first. Is that true or not true?
Yeah, it is true.
Why you can't decipher?
Because the seed has the potential of tree. I mean, it's just a cycle. Tree to tree. I mean, seed to tree and tree to seed.
What is the cycle? What is the cycle of the seed and the tree? What do you define it as? The chick and the egg, the seed and the tree.
Cause and
What
effect.
is cause and effect? Yeah, Josna Bulsu. Black box నుంచి బయటకు వచ్చి మాట్లాడు. Yeah. Don't sit in black box. You have such a beautiful body and the form that Bhagavan has given. Never hide them in your black boxes unless you are driving. So that is right. Cause and effect. You always look at cause and effect. And when you look at cause and effect, you are caught in duality. For everything, you need to find a cause and the effect, cause and effect. The moment you go to the root of the cause and effect, then this duality will disappear because you connect to that same thing. Yeah, same thing, everything in life, cause and effect, cause and effect. Cause and effect cause conflict because you don't see the same cause in everything as others. Therefore, cause and effect will cause conflict. I don't know, these words are really funny. Cause and effect cause conflict. So, so the root of both of those things is the earth. The root of those two things is the earth. The fundamental nature of the seed and the tree is earth, Mother Earth. And therefore, then you go to what is the root of earth? What is the root of that? What is the root of that? Then you go beyond the cause and effect, and your mind will, or Intellect will take you to the substance and the subject of the whole thing, and that's how you will realize the oneness. That's it. That's the pretty much the answer to that.
Nairam, thank you. Thank you. I understood now.
You understood now?
Yeah, it
Will
reaches
you
to
remember it
everything.
next time?
I hope so.
Sairam. Yes. Any other questions? Sairam. Okay. Let's close with.
Saramana. I don't know if it's a question. I'm still not clear on Anuvaka 23 fully. So, who created the directions first? Or I should not think about who created, it's all one. In the sense, the 4 directions were created, but then the order was not there. Then Prajapati created the order, and I think we said Purusha is the one that created with the water, right? With the water, he created east direction.
Now, what confusion into Riyendra Babu, you are telling so many words here. You say Purusha, you say Prajapati, and then there is this Kurma, and then there is all of these things. I have no clue now. I am totally lost. What are all these names and what? And now you said that this guy did this, and then the east came, and in the east he said there is Aditya, and then in the south he said there is Agni, and in the west he said now. West he said there is the Vayu, and then in the north he said Indra, and then in the upward, what is going on here? I mean, you created such a terminology of words and mess over me, and now I lost. I have no clue what all of this stuff is now anymore. I'm lost.
Yeah,
Who did all of this?
For some reason, he didn't create order, and then Prajapati was trying to create the Rutu, or that order part of it. So,
ఓకే ఏం అస్సలు ఏం బుర్ర బద్దలు కొట్టుకున్నా అసలు ఏం అర్థమే I thought I understood a little bit. Now then you confused me totally, Anna. What is all this now? Finally, give me the bottom line here, right?
yeah,
Antega? Ante. What is the bottom line? The bottom line is what? In life, there are only 3 problems. Actually, there are not even 3, only 2. There are only 2 problems. Why 3 problems? The first problem is, what is this world? What is this world? The second problem is, who am I in the context of this world? Right? Antega? Inkan problems ఉన్నాయి చెప్పు. You open your eyes, you see the world. ఏంటి father ఏంటి, mother ఏంటి, brother ఏంటి, sister ఏంటి, కొంప ఏంటి, గోల ఏంటి, ఏది ఇదంతా? What is all this happening here? And then you go to sleep and then you say, hey, what is happening in my own world? You have a dream. And this dream is nothing to do with it creates its own thing. So you're living either in your own world or the outside world, the inside world and the outside world. Right? And then there's confusion, right? Yeah. Are there really 2 worlds?
then everything is one only, Anaya.
అదే మళ్ళీ అట్లా ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఈజ్ వన్ ఓన్లీ అంటే మీ నాన్న బాధపడతాడు పక్కన. Your father is worried now. Hey, what is this man say? Everything is one అంటున్నాడు. What is happening? My son is not taking care of అనుకుంటాడు ఆయన. Not that it is true, but you are such a divine son. So the context of all of this is the creation. How did this creation come into existence? And what does it mean to me in the context of all of this? So therefore, that tells you that whatever you create, just like in your dream world, how you project yourself into everything, this thing called the divine consciousness projected itself into this world, into this creation. Just like in your dream, you projected your mind and created a world in which you are the substratum of the whole thing, no? Yes or no? In your dream, isn't your mind the substratum of everything? Yes or no? Yes? Only Damaraj, not everybody. Is it yes or no?
Yes, Anna. Yeah.
Yes. In the dream, who is giving sentience to everything that is happening in the dream? Sentience means vitality to everything that's happening in the dream. Who is doing it? Is there a third person involved?
No.
Oh, it's only you, no? Yeah. You created the dream, and in the dream, you gave life to everything that means you projected yourself into every aspect of the dream. The moment you wake up means your mind wakes up. What happened to all that? What happened to all that? Gone, no?
Gone.
Now imagine that is exactly what is happening in the world, in the context of the creation. The creation happened just because of the projection of the creator. And in fact, there is no separate things. Just like in the dream, you are not separate from the dream. The creator is also not separate from the creation. Arvind, are you good?
I think
Now the question that comes is, what is this creation? What is now all these directions? What is all this stuff? Why does those have to happen? Because for this creation to exist, there are three vectors that are needed. That is it's a three-dimensional vector in which this creation exists. The first vector is the space. The second vector is the time. The third vector is the identity of the objects in it. Right? So therefore, space is undefined. So to define space, he created directions. And then he bound this creation by this, in that as directions in space. Understood?
Yeah.
And in the context of that, there are beings that need to be there. And therefore, he created the beings. And then once he created the beings, then there is no order, structure to it. Therefore, he has to infuse this thing called dharma. Dharma is nothing but action in time. Therefore, the time aspect, the order, the cosmic order aspect came into existence. And in the context of it, there is identification associated with each entity. And the entities that are called the divine beings, the celestials, the ghostly spirits, the demons, and the humans, and the devas, and all those things, all those are identifications, identities. So this projection of the world is, the creator has bound it in space, in time, and identity. The moment he wakes up, all this will be dissolved. And there will be only one, the dreamer. Not the dream, not the beings in the dream, anything related to that. There will be only one. To begin with, there was only one, and he projected, and then he will wake up and say, hey, sorry guys, show is over. I'm awake now. Are Diranta, this is what, the moment you understand this, life becomes so much fun. Life becomes so much fun because you are not dealing with two things. What's the first problem I said?
What is the world?
Why you are answering? I'm talking to one person. He's the one that asked the question. What's the first problem?
Outside world.
What's the second problem?
inside, or who am I, or yeah, what am I?
Now, what do you realize? They are not two. They are only one. And how can there be only one? Because the one who is experiencing it in the awareness, you are only one. You are not two. In the dream, you are not two. You are in the dream, and then you interact with various beings in the dream, and you wake up, they are all gone. You realize that dream was just in my experience, and it's not real. So, two problems solved. ఈ లోకం ఏంటి, నేనేంటి? This is the only two questions. Are you now more confused or less confused?
I think I understand. So I think I was thinking the logical way. I think you explained there are steps that went through, I think, to really create it, and then but at the end it's all one. That is yeah.
It's at the end it is many in one, and that is the process that he is going to take. Then he will define this, what is this? It's a fluid thing, and then there is this thing that is already internally see. Now you go through exactly what this is. Mantras are, they are repetition of what is happened in Nasadiya Suktam, and then everything that will come together and say, it's a beautiful exposition of how, what is the creation, who am I in the context of that creation, and how do I connect to all of this, and what happens if I connect to all of this? What happens? What's the purpose of all of this? Yeah, evam Veda, if I know all of this, so what? What's the purpose of this? The purpose of this is, you are very happy when the Intel stock was $5, and you are now very happy when the Intel stock is $120. Nothing has affected you. Maybe it has affected you. He works for Intel, so that's why I brought up that. You don't go down when the stock is going down. When you don't go up when your stock is going, you are not subject to this ups and downs because you don't see that difference. You will know this is a beautiful creation. This whole Intel is nothing but intelligence that is projected itself. It may go up sometime, it may go down sometime, and all of that is irrelevant in the context of who I am and what this represents. Enjoy the play, just like the spider which creates the web out of itself will play in the web. It will go from one direction to another direction. It will have fun. And some spiders, what they'll do, they will get stuck in their own web and they don't know how to come out of it. But if you know this as a spider, then some spiders, if you notice them, they are incredibly beautiful, phenomenal. I don't know if you watched this. If you watched this in the nature, I watched this in the nature. I have a video of it also somewhere. I took a video of it. How the spider will come down from its own web, from the center of its own web, it will drop. And then it will retract the whole web into itself. Into itself. And when you watch it in the creation, you know, oh my God, what a beautiful thing. This thing which created this whole web as a projection of itself with its own material saliva, enjoying in the web, knowing that this is what I created. It's time for me now to stop playing. Let me retract. And the creator will do the same thing, will drop down, will do like this. And all the web will go inside. And what remained to begin with is the spider. And everything else that happened in the middle is the spider. And the end, it is the spider only, nothing else. Jai Sai Ram. Swastif prajabhyah paripalayantam nyayena margena mahim mahishah go brahmanebhyah shubhamastu nityam samastalokaah sukhino bhavantu samastalokaah sukhino bhavantu samastalokaah sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Jai Bolo Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba Ji ki
Jai
Jai
Sai Ram.
Ram.